Welcome back, my fabulous friend. Or should I say welcome if this is your first visit. My name is Shawn, and I am so glad all of you are here today. Those familiar with my channel know that I am in the process of a whole house makeover that I have lovingly dubbed the Pocket Change Renovation. Why that name? Well, because I'm basically doing all of this on an almost non-existent budget. I don't have the money to redo all these rooms, but I have the savvy and know-how to get it done. And I'm doing that through thrifting and repurposing and a whole lot of DIYing to get me where I need to be. Now, for those of you thinking your house is never going to look custom and high-end if you only thrift your way through it, all I can say is hold my beer, hit that subscribe button, and watch me. It's already happening in my kitchen with the most amazing custom cabinetry that once upon a time had another life and purpose before my creative hands got a hold of them. I have a playlist called Pocket Change Renovations. You can see all of the transformations there. The end result is mind-blowing. Seriously, guys, it's stunning and beautiful when you think outside the box what you can create. Today, I am back in my bedroom, as you can see. I am bouncing all over. I know, but that's what keeps everything fun. Can't stay focused on one thing too long, and where it's a pocket change renovation, I have to take advantage of the things that I find when I find them, and that might mean bouncing all around the house, and that's totally fine by me. I don't think you guys mind either. Now, today I have a gorgy project that I have been dying to do. I have been waiting literally at least 5 months to do this project. Now, all of the furniture in my room, including my bed, is going to be painted over as part of my bedroom remodel. And I'm slowly getting all of the components of this room together. So I'm doing all of the furniture over, but I don't want it to all be the same and be matchy-matchy. That's just not me. I do not want every single piece the same. I want them to all be familiarly different in a very cohesive and effortless way. I don't want them to fight each other. I want them to literally bring out the best in each piece in its own individual but cohesive way, if that makes sense. I put a lot of thought into what I could do on one particular bureau, and I actually came up with a super beautiful creative DIY that is going to yield me an incredibly high-end looking piece for like $50, which isn't bad. And I know some of you saying that's not pocket change, but when you compare it to something that you could potentially buy online, I'm pretty sure the price would be a whole lot more than $50. So yes, that is a pocket change renovation. I've cut a huge percentage of the cost off of a custom piece by doing it myself. Now, if you're not familiar with a transfer is basically a dry decal that you apply to something using a credit card or a nice flat stick, something that has a very flat edge that allows you to rub over the top of it to release the transfer from the paper it's on and get it to grab onto your project. It's actually a very easy process, but you just have to take your time and keep checking to see what's attached and what's not, because you want to make sure the whole transfer is released before you pull it off, or it'll just break and get ruined. So it's a process to take your time and do it, but it's not a process to get it done. It's very, very easy. I like to put a movie on. I think I'll actually get through an entire movie with the size of this transfer, but put a movie on and get it on there. Once you rub it off and it's all released, boom, you have this custom item when you're done. And in my case, it's going to be a dresser. Now, I am not going to clean up this area. I am going to give it to you real life, real time. This is what it looks like. This area is a catch-all, and I think it's a catch-all because there's nothing spectacular about it. Between the ugly brown walls in this bedroom that I cannot wait to change, and the fact that this is just a blah brown bureau, I think it just becomes a lost space that I throw everything on. I throw clothes on, Scott throws clothes on, we throw keys and books, and it just catches everything and always looks a wreck. So I think giving it personality, style, and character that is above and beyond anything it's ever experienced is going to have me keeping that area much nicer. And hopefully I can train Scott a little bit to not pile his clothes up on there once this is done. The bureau itself came from the U.S. Army, believe it or not, from a barracks. Long time ago. It is very solid construction, super heavy. It's constructed of wood and metal. Like the whole inside of it is all metal and the outside of it is the wood. So it's a very beautifully constructed piece, but it's very blasé. I mean, U.S. Army's not going to give you anything from Ralph Lauren. It serves its purpose. It's a dresser, but it's perfect for this particular project because the front of it is very basic and flat. There's really no detail to it, which makes it perfect for putting a transfer on. And very excited about this part. The hardware is all original and it's very tiny, dainty hardware, which isn't going to distract you from the design itself. I think it's all going to work together beautifully. I'll add a little bit of rub and buff to it, you know me, and it's going to be perfect. But I am really excited to get this going. Also excited to show you guys the transfer I found. So in keeping with my French country motif, I didn't want to go the standard expected route of roustes and filigrees and things along that nature. But I did stumble upon something that did give me French vibes. Whether or not it's French makes no difference. If it gives me the vibe, it's perfect for my home. And I got the vibe from it. Was a little bit pricey, like I said. It was $50. I believe it was maybe a little bit less. I want to say like 46 or 47, but in the grand scheme of what this piece will be in the end, totally worth it. Are you ready? It's called Fox Meadows and it's by Redesign. It is a gorgeous, look at that, transfer with the foxes and the butterflies and the tree. It's a very good size. I fell in love with this when I saw it. It is 24 inches by 35 inches, so it is a great height to go on that bureau. It'll be in the middle of it beautifully, and I am so excited to get this done. Now, I haven't even opened this yet. So the transfer itself is black, which is what I thought. And they give you a little tool for rubbing. It's kind of like a little teeny paint stick. Can you see? I don't know if you can see that, if I can show it to you. It's just a flat little paint stick, but this is what you use to rub the transfer like that. Oh, that has a nice edge, actually. I like that. And that's what will take it from the paper it comes on. This is the transfer. This is a backing. When you're ready, you'll peel the backing off. You will set the transfer on, and the whole goal is to release the transfer from the paper that's left. It is easy, but a little tedious. And you want to take your time and make sure that every single piece is released. Now, for this one, it's a very ambitious piece. There are lots of tiny details to release. Totally worth it because the end result is going to be gorge. And it's not a feminine piece. I have to be very careful with this bedroom because Scott's like French country, that's like flowery and stuff. Yes, it is, but it's layers upon layers of textures and patterns that all cohesively go together, like florals and plaids and stripes. Endless possibilities with the right combinations of items. And I think that this is actually a great masculine touch for the room, but I also do find it feminine. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and I'm really excited to get this going. So this bureau is way too heavy for me to get downstairs. What I'm going to do is clean it out, clean it off, clean that area, and then I'll put drop cloths down up here and get it done right up here in my bedroom. Not a big deal. There's not going to be a whole lot of sanding. I'm actually going to use a paint I already have on hand that is just a basic white paint off the shelf, nothing spectacular, but I have it, so that's what I want to use. Keep my budget at an absolute minimum. So far it's just the decal. I am going to prep the piece. Prep is very, very important. You have to get that surface ready for the paint or the whole project is going to fail. So make sure when you're doing DIYs that you really take the time and prep the product. Don't shortcut, don't try to skimp. It'll hurt you in the end, so let's get this going. The legs are super sturdy, but they are ugly brown, so I am going to use some of that brass gilding paint that I have, and I am going to give all of the legs a coat of the brass gilding paint. If it takes 2 coats, it takes 2 coats. I just want full opaque coverage. I don't want to see any of the brown. I just want to see the brass. Even though you're really not going to see it, I still feel like aesthetically it's going to look so much better than leaving it brown. I am also going to add some felt pads to the bottom of this. It has metal discs on the bottom, and I don't want that on the floor. So I'm going to install some cheap felt pads that you can easily pick up at any of the box stores, and I highly suggest that all of the bottoms of your furniture should have some form of protection on it. The transfer comes in 2 pieces, so I am going to take my time and carefully line it up. It's very easy to follow. They put lines on there. There's a grid. Very, very easy to line it up, but I just want to make sure everything is straight and even because once you remove the backing paper and you have it in place, you will not get it back up. So I'd rather take my time and reposition it a million times to get it where I want than make a mistake. This design is too big, it's too intricate, and I just have really high hopes and expectations for this project, and I want it to come out beautiful. So I'll get it. Once it's in place, start by working from one side to the other. It doesn't matter which way you go. You could go top to bottom, side to side, whichever you choose. But peel off a little bit of the paper. Don't peel it all off yet. Peel off a little of the paper, get the transfer down and go. I got one of my favorite movies, Goodfellas, on, and I actually grabbed my Cricut Maker 3 vinyl scraper. I actually really like this one, so I'm going to use that on this as well, and I'm just going to settle in and get all these pieces off. Well guys, what do you think? I am so in love with this. I'm actually going to put a clear coat of wax on this. I'm going to use my Magnolia wax. Give it a good coat on it to really seal that transfer in. But how gorgeous is this? Now, because this is custom, there's really nothing to compare it to. I did look online to see what something like this would possibly cost. This was the only thing I could come up with. The difference is it's hand painted versus a transfer, but it's still over $500, and this entire piece is less than $50. And I got clarification from Scott. This was his great-grandfather's dresser when he was in the U.S. Army. How fabulous is that? He's had it forever, and he was so happy to see this makeover. I love it. I am so happy that he loves it as well. I think this is really beautiful. Definitely feeling a French vibe with it. And I am so happy that I did it. And I have to tell you guys, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. The transfer actually came off super, super easy. I did have a little issue with some of it breaking, but I was easily able to fix that using my transfer tape from my Cricut Maker 3. I was able to put the pieces right back on and not worry about it because I was like, oh my gosh, all this work and I just broke it. You can't even tell. I'm not going to point it out. There's no need to. It's gorgeous. I am so inspired now to really get this bedroom going. And at this point in time, I really need to decide on a wall color. I don't think I want a white wall color, but I definitely want something bright, especially where this room is very dark. So I'm going to think on that for a while. I'm also going to think on the other dressers and what I can do to those in this room as well as my bed. Well, I know I'm going to paint my bed white and distress it, but the dressers are another whole story. I need to think about that as well. But I am over the moon with this DIY project, and I now have this gorgeous, gorgeous dresser. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of it? How about that for a transformation? Well, I am excited to keep my pocket change renovations going. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, now is a fantastic time to do that. You're not going to want to miss out on all of these DIY transformations I'm doing into my home to give it entirely different new look, renovating, revamping, redesigning, reworking. I am doing it all, and I would love for you to be part of it. Besides, you're going to want to see how fabulous everything comes out on virtually no money whatsoever. I'm already off to a bang, I have to say. I love it. I am just so happy with it. All right, guys, thank you for joining me. I cannot wait for the next step in this room. And I do have more coming up, so make sure you're here with me to watch. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see all of you fabulous people later. Bye. Oh, I love it. Yes! Yes!